Micah Parsons drama just won't go away. And honestly, why would it? We're talking about one of the best defensive players in the NFL, arguably the best. But instead of locking him up and building the future around him, the Dallas Cowboys are once again doing what they do best, dragging their feet, complicating what should be simple, and creating chaos when they should be creating confidence. If you're a Cowboys fan, this whole situation feels way too familiar. You've seen this movie before, just with different actors. Let's not kid ourselves. Micah hasn't been perfect throughout this saga. The man has personality. He's outspoken. He's emotional. He doesn't hide his frustration. In other words, he's human. And yeah, he's been a bit of a diva at times, but when you're elite at what you do, that's almost part of the package, especially when you know your value and you're watching other guys around the league, guys with less production and less impact, getting their bags while your own team plays games with the calendar. But here's the thing, Micah's attitude isn't the problem. It's the result of a problem. And that problem sits squarely at the top, with the Jones family, the front office, and their outdated ego-driven approach to team management. This is the same old script the Cowboys have been running for years. They wait too long, let tensions rise, let the locker room buzz with uncertainty, and then act like they're shocked when things go south. Wash, rinse, repeat. Look at the pattern. This isn't new. The Cowboys have had a long list of elite talents that they failed to handle properly. The timelines always feel off. The priorities seem backwards, and the message it sends to the locker room: you're not getting paid until we say you're worth it. That builds resentment. That creates disconnect. That's exactly where we're headed again with Micah Parsons, and it could cost them everything. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room, the possibility of a trade. Cowboys Nation nearly lost its mind just at the mention of Micah being dealt, especially if it meant sending him somewhere like Washington, where Dan Quinn would be waiting with open arms. That scenario is basically a nightmare wrapped in a reality check. Imagine Micah in a Commander's jersey terrorizing Dak Prescott twice a year, helping them win a Super Bowl while the Cowboys try to pick up the pieces. That would be historic in the worst possible way. And look, while the odds of an in-division trade are incredibly slim, because no sane GM wants to empower a rival like that, the fact that fans even have to talk about it speaks volumes. It shows how little faith there is in the front office to handle these situations with maturity and urgency. It shows how tired people are of watching generational talents get frustrated, disrespected, and ultimately pushed to the edge. There's also this illusion that the Cowboys are somehow good at salary cap management. Some fans, and let's be honest, some delusional ones, try to defend the Joneses by pointing out that the team always stays under the cap, always has flexibility, never pushes too much dead money into the future. Cool! You know what else they don't push? Championship windows. Because while teams like the Eagles are playing to win now, using the cap like a credit card with a no interest rate, Dallas is busy trying to be fiscally responsible in a sport where the only currency that matters is rings. Like, think about it. If you told an Eagles fan that their aggressive cap strategy would hurt them in 2031, they'd laugh in your face. Why? Because they've already won recently. They've tasted it. The Cowboys haven't. And that's the difference between teams that play to win and teams that play not to lose. The Cowboys, under this ownership, play scared. And now they're scared of giving Micah the money he's clearly earned. At this point, every day that passes without a Parsons extension is another day of unnecessary drama. Another day where the narrative shifts from building a contender to managing egos. And the longer it drags on, the more damage it does. Because guess what? You're not just managing a salary cap. You're managing relationships. You're managing trust. And once that's gone, no amount of cash can fix it. Micah knows his worth. His teammates know his worth. The fans know it too. Everyone knows the guy is a game changer. You don't just replace someone like him. You don't develop that kind of dominance. He's not a system guy. He is the system. His presence changes game plans. Offensive coordinators lose sleep trying to figure out how to neutralize him. That kind of impact is priceless. But for some reason, the Cowboys are still stuck in debate mode instead of action mode. And let's be honest, if this was a quarterback, the deal would have been done already. But because Micah plays defense, there's this hesitation, this waiting game, this back and forth that feels more like a power struggle than a negotiation. And that's dangerous because what happens if they push too far? What if Micah checks out emotionally? What if he starts thinking more about his future than this team's present? That's how you lose locker rooms. That's how you lose seasons. That's how dynasties die before they even start. So what's the end game here? Most likely, this whole thing stretches deep into August, maybe even September. Then Jerry Jones picks up the phone, does his usual "let's talk son" routine, and suddenly the deal gets done. Probably for something like $42 million a year. Everyone hugs it out. The headlines calm down, and we all pretend like the tension never happened until the next guy needs to get paid, and we're right back here again. That's what makes this cycle so frustrating. It's predictable. You can almost script it out. The team develops a superstar, the superstar wants to get paid, the Jones family hesitates, drama explodes, and eventually they cave, but not before wasting time, creating headlines and shaking the foundation of trust. This is what Cowboys culture has become under this ownership. Constant distraction. And while we're talking about ownership, let's just address it because fans are fed up. They're sick of the excuses, sick of the half measures, sick of loving a team that feels allergic to doing what's necessary to win. The phrase Cowboys fan used to come with pride. Now, for many, it comes with frustration, eye rolls, and secondhand embarrassment, especially from the front office. The Jones boys are losing the fan base little by little, and it's because they refuse to adapt. So where does this leave us? Honestly, in the same place we've been for the past decade. Clinging to hope while the team clings to outdated habits. And that's why this Micah Parsons situation matters more than just money or contracts. It's symbolic. It's about how this organization handles greatness, about whether or not they know what they have and what it's going to cost them if they let it slip through their fingers. Because here's the brutal truth. Micah Parsons is not just some elite player. He's not just another Pro Bowler or All-Pro to toss into a stat sheet and admire from a distance. He is the soul of this defense, the motor that never stops, the guy who doesn't just want to win, he expects to win. And that mentality is infectious. It spreads, it lifts the guys around him. When Micah steps onto the field, the energy changes, the tempo shifts, the belief increases. That kind of presence doesn't grow on trees. You don't develop that in a draft room. You either have it or you don't. And Micah, he has it in spades, which makes this whole saga even more insane. Because while Jerry Jones and his crew play hardball with a contract, they're gambling with the emotional heartbeat of the team. They're playing with fire, thinking it won't burn them, but it already is. You can feel it in Micah's tone, in the subtle jabs during interviews, in the tweets, in the body language. This isn't a guy who's just being patient. This is a guy who's trying not to snap, who's doing everything he can to keep it together while the front office drags out what should have been handled 6 months ago. And let's not forget the other guys in that locker room are watching. All this unfold in real time. They're seeing how one of the franchise's most impactful players is being treated, and they're taking notes. If this is how the Cowboys treat Micah, what happens when it's their turn to negotiate? What happens when they're 1 year away from free agency and suddenly the same old "we're working on it" quotes start getting tossed around like confetti? Trust doesn't just vanish overnight. It dies in moments like this, when actions scream louder than press conference promises. That's why this isn't just a Micah problem. It's a culture problem. It's a leadership problem. And it's a reflection of everything that's gone wrong in Dallas since the late 90s. Talent, always there. Star power, never in short supply. But leadership at the top, consistently outdated, stubborn, and reactive instead of proactive. That's the real issue, and until it changes, situations like this are going to keep happening. But before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Dallas Cowboys. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. In a move that has sent shockwaves through the NFL rumor mill, whispers are circulating that George Kittle, one of the most electrifying tight ends in the league, could soon be donning the star of the Dallas Cowboys. Insiders suggest that preliminary talks have taken place, though nothing is officially confirmed. Yet the buzz is growing so intense that fans are already imagining Kittle running routes alongside the Cowboys' star quarterbacks. Speculation hints that the Cowboys front office is aggressively exploring every avenue to bring in the veteran player, whose combination of speed, strength, and blocking ability could transform their offensive schemes dramatically. Industry. Sources are reportedly observing the situation closely, noting that Kittle's current contract and trade possibilities could make this acquisition challenging, but far from impossible. Analysts are already debating the impact his arrival could have on the team's dynamics, pointing out that Kittle has consistently proven himself as a game changer capable of dominating both short yardage situations and explosive plays down the field. Rumors suggest that this potential signing could also send shockwaves to the tight end market across the league, as other teams might scramble to adjust their rosters in anticipation of a star player possibly leaving his current team. Fans are buzzing in forums, imagining highlight reel plays and touchdown celebrations that could redefine the Cowboys' offense next season. Sources close to the matter are hinting that negotiations might be more advanced than publicly reported, fueling speculation that Kittle's decision could be imminent. Some reports indicate that the Cowboys coaching staff has been actively reaching out to Kittle's representatives, discussing strategies that would maximize his talents within the team's existing playbook. The rumors are swirling that Kittle himself has expressed curiosity about the Cowboys' vision, the city's appeal, and the potential to become a centerpiece in one of the NFL's most storied franchises. Analysts suggest that if the signing happens, it could drastically shift the balance of power within the NFC, giving Dallas a weapon capable of stretching defenses and creating opportunities for both passing and rushing attacks. Meanwhile, other teams are reportedly monitoring the situation closely, assessing how a potential move by Kittle could alter their own tactical plans. Pundits have begun speculating on the domino effect this could create, with the market for tight ends and offensive weapons likely to see a flurry of movement. Social media feeds are overflowing with fan reactions, ranging from excitement to skepticism. Yet all agree that the mere possibility of Kittle joining the Cowboys is enough to make headlines and dominate sports conversations across platforms. The rumor has already prompted a wave of what-if scenarios, imagining how Kittle could immediately change the complexion of key divisional matchups next season. Adding further fuel to the speculation, insiders suggest that Kittle's potential fit with the Cowboys' offensive system has been a topic of intense discussion behind closed doors, with coaches reportedly exploring ways to tailor plays to his unique combination of size, agility, and field vision. Analysts have hinted that if negotiations are successful, Kittle's presence could elevate not only the team's passing game, but also the performance of other skill position players who would benefit from the defensive attention he attracts. Some industry whispers imply that this move could mark the beginning of a more aggressive off-season strategy by Dallas, aiming to build around Kittle as a centerpiece of their long-term plans. Meanwhile, fans and commentators are engaging in spirited debates about how his arrival might affect team chemistry, roster decisions, and salary cap flexibility. Despite the absence of an official announcement, the intensity of the rumors has created a sense of inevitability among many observers, as if Kittle in Dallas is only a matter of when, not if. Market analysts are predicting potential shifts in merchandise sales, ticket demand, and overall team branding, suggesting that Kittle's rumored addition could generate immediate financial and cultural impacts for the franchise. Across sports media outlets, speculation continues to dominate headlines, with recurring mentions that Dallas is willing to make bold moves to secure a player of Kittle's caliber, even if it requires navigating complex contractual negotiations, or trades that could reshape the team's roster in unexpected ways. Meanwhile, sources close to the league suggest that Kittle himself may be weighing multiple factors, including potential legacy, playoff aspirations, and the appeal of joining a team with high visibility and fan enthusiasm. Rumors hint that personal meetings may have already taken place, with Kittle visiting team facilities and engaging in discussions with key members of the Cowboys' leadership. Analysts are speculating that this potential move could not only strengthen Dallas offensively, but also send a message to the rest of the NFL about the team's willingness to aggressively pursue top talent, signaling a shift in strategy that prioritizes immediate competitiveness. Some whispers indicate that other star players in the league are monitoring the situation, perhaps anticipating how Kittle's potential departure or arrival could affect their own opportunities and team dynamics. In forums and social media threads, the rumor is being dissected in exhaustive detail, with fans imagining iconic moments and game-changing plays that would become central to Dallas's identity. The possibility of Kittle joining the Cowboys has even led to debates about how this could influence draft strategies, free agent signings, and team leadership structures in the coming months. Overall, the buzz surrounding George Kittle and Dallas continues to grow, with every new insider comment or subtle hint escalating the excitement and speculation surrounding one of the NFL's most talked about potential moves this offseason. Finally, the continued rumor of George Kittle joining the Dallas Cowboys has created a storm of speculation that refuses to settle, as every small development is analyzed for hidden meaning or confirmation. Some reports suggest that preliminary plans for marketing campaigns, player integration, and offensive adjustments may already be in discussion, signaling that the Cowboys are preparing for the possibility of securing Kittle's services even before a formal announcement. Experts are debating how this move could influence both the NFC East standings and the league's broader competitive landscape, as Kittle's ability to shift game dynamics might make Dallas a contender overnight. Fans are engaging in continuous online conversations, sharing graphics, mock highlights, and strategic analyses imagining Kittle's impact on key divisional matchups. Rumors continue to speculate on the contractual details, potential trade partners, and the timing of any official reveal, with insiders hinting that the negotiations are both delicate and high stakes, possibly involving intricate maneuvers to satisfy all parties. Meanwhile, commentators suggest that even the slightest confirmation could trigger a domino effect across the NFL, prompting teams to rethink strategies, alter rosters, and even shift draft priorities in anticipation of a new power dynamic. The ongoing chatter fueled by every leak, interview, and social media post keeps fans and analysts on edge, highlighting the electric possibility that George Kittle, one of the most dynamic tight ends in the NFL, could indeed become the newest star of the Dallas Cowboys, setting the stage for a thrilling and transformative next season. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Dallas Cowboys, please subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. We always look forward to your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.